From one of the loudest venues in the NFL, there's a look at Arrowhead Stadium here in Kansas City. The scene just a few moments ago, predictably loud and raucous here in KC as their beloved Chiefs took the field, and they are set to match up with the Houston Texans. Here's the kicker, Harrison Butker, ready to get this one started. And we are underway from Kansas City. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Watson, off play action. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
Didn't have the greatest field position to start, did they? And now, after this sack, it's way, way worse.
And right off the bat, first play of the game. So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. Now here's a defensive timeout called by the Chiefs. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Now Watson. Slings it to Andrews, and it's complete. The tight end has it. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. So, Charles, first drive here, little safe completion underneath. Maybe get some rhythm, get your feet wet, so to speak.
I agree, and I like it because it's a lot like a basketball game when you're getting started and you pass the ball around so everyone touches it early and gets involved in the game. In this case, it's not just dumping it to a back and he's able to run with the ball, but you get your offensive linemen involved because they get to get out and run and hit people in the open field. Everyone getting their feet wet early.
The throw here to Andrews, the tight end. And they finally bring him down, but he reaches the 16. A huge play there for Houston.
We expected this defense to be tested by this passing game coming into this one, and there's an example on this first possession of the game.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. And power running here down to the 6-yard line. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. Pretty effective run there, and now they can start to smell that end zone.
Pound the rock. Make sure you use your O-line to set the tone of dominance and physicality, and pound the rock.
On second down now, it's Parks, and he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line.
Well, that was a unit that understood exactly where the first down marker was, handed it to their guy who could run it, created some space, and he got there.
First and goal, a good chance for our first touchdown of the new season. Now a give, right side. It's Parks. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
On second and goal, Watson. They'll roll him out right to the goal line, but it's incomplete.
It hasn't been a real good start to this game from a defensive perspective, but now after the incompletion on second down, things may be changing. If they can come up with one more play, they might be able to get out of it with just a field goal attempt.
Now Watson on third and goal. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Greedy Williams picks it off. And the Chiefs are going to take possession of the football as they force the turnover on the opening drive. Offensively, a far from ideal start there with a pick on the opening drive.
Yeah, not exactly what they were looking for. We know that. That's pretty obvious. The beauty, though, is it's happening early. If they don't panic, they don't compound this problem, they've got a long way to go and a chance to get back in it.
So after the INT, here's Mahomes. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. And this is incomplete. Well played defensively, nearly had the interception, but it's second down.
Well, they certainly came out firing in this one, and while that one was incomplete, I can't imagine that'll be the last shot that they take in this game.
Second and 10. Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. Oh, nice move. And he roams across the 20 to the 24-yard line. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
They'll run it. Here's Cook. And he's going to get to the 31, enough for the first down. Couple of nice carries back-to-back here, establishing the ground game a bit.
Yeah, these aren't bare-bones runs now. I mean, they're getting substantial yardage, the kind of yards you're looking for, right? Let's go ahead and use a cliche. Stay ahead of the change, right? Five or more yards each time, that's what you're looking for in setting a tone and getting your offensive line going.
Good sign on the opening drive. A run there with Cook, not going to accomplish much. Call it no gain. Second down coming up. So, Charles, you talk about this head coach, and let's face it, this season certainly has not gone the way many had expected or at least hoped. And I think we saw some of that frustration boil over at his weekly press conference earlier this week.
Yeah, we certainly did, didn't we? Because, let's face it, he's heard the whispers, and they're going louder that he shouldn't be around next year. He essentially stormed out of that meeting you just referenced with the reporters. How did he end it? We're done here. Well, that's a function of losing and all the pressure that's on him. You hear about pressure creating diamonds? In this case, it's bursting the pipes of the coach.
An incomplete pass on second down. That muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10. To throw, it's Mahomes. That one caught by Tyreek Hill. And he will have a Chiefs first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Had to put that ball in there with a little extra zip, and he put it right where it needed to be.
Yeah, and that little extra pace that he had on the pass, that required a little extra concentration for him, didn't it? Ball can get on you pretty quick in that manner, and he handled it well and picked up the first down.
Throwing on first down is Mahomes. Winds up and lets it go for Samuel. And this is caught. Touchdown. Curtis Samuel, 51 yards. And the Chiefs are on the board here first in the season opener. Extra point by Butker is on target. And that makes the score 7-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And the interception thrown in the red zone last time. We'll see if they can rebound.
I just have to think the last thing he said as they went back out there was, don't do that again. What do you think?
What do you think?
Yeah, I think that. I think that not only did he say that, but...
Touchdown, Houston! A big play there. 75 yards. And the Texans are an extra point away from tying this football game. The point after is good. And that will tie our score here in this opening quarter of play. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. No run back here, down to a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. They were successful last time finding the end zone on their opening drive of the season, and they'll get another shot here with. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And in for the Chiefs touchdown. Curtis Samuel with his second touchdown of this opening quarter. And the Chiefs have taken the lead. Extra point by Butker is on target, and that makes the score 14-7. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, we'll see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time.
I mean,
that's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of...
It got his man complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A big connection on that one. 32 yards. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. And to give this time to the tailback. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. Right back to him on 1st down. And he is going to wind up losing yardage here. as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. Now it's Watson, a bootleg. He finds his man, complete. That's Parks. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that'll make it 3rd down. Now a play fake, and it's Watson. Throw left side, complete. That's Parks. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. This will wind up a loss on the play, and it'll be 4th down. They will indeed snap it to Watson. Eluding the pressure right. And it's going to be batted down. It will go the other way with a football. The Texans tried it, but they come up empty here on 4th. And the Chiefs defense comes up with a stop. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. And last time the formula was pretty simple. 1 play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up, whether it's on your grease board, right? In your
Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted, throwing back across his body. Picked off by Byron Murphy. And the Texans are going to have the football here at their own 35-yard line. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line. Throwing to start the drive. Watson, flush to his right. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done. They'll run on 1st down. Parks. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. That hold coming from the middle of the line, the center.
And it's difficult for him because sometimes you've got people right over you, and as soon as you snap it, trying to get your hands up and block them, you can be a little bit late getting it done.
Now a give, right side. It's Parks, and he'll take it across the 50 and into Chief territory. It's a gain of 3, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. Throwing on 2nd and long. Watson, that's complete. It's Devin Duvernay. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes. Thus far, they haven't been able to move the line of scrimmage very well in the running game. Almost felt like they said in the huddle, can you guys pass protect? Let's take a big shot downfield. Didn't get it on that one, but they may come back to it again.
On 2nd and 10, Watson. Open man is Duvernay. And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down, executed it to perfection. From the red zone now, Watson. And that is caught. Touchdown, Texans. A great effort there. Already his second touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Texans are an extra point away from tying this football game. Extra point splits the uprights, and we are tied here in the second quarter. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one. It's through the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And last time, one play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling because a one-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people would think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, you got a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
To throw again on second down, Mahomes. And going deep for Hill. And that's caught inside the 35. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Tyreek Hill, 75 yards. And the Chiefs on just 2 plays have taken the lead. Extra point by Butker is on target. And the lead is now 21-14. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They'll look for a drive to tie this up, down 21-14 as they have it 1st and 10. Watson's throw is on target to Duvernay. He's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Here's a handoff out of the gun. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2. Earlier this half, you were wondering how the defense was going to handle him defensively. Were they going to bottle him up at different levels, so to speak, is what you said. What have you seen so far?
Well, I think they've been absolutely terrific because it feels like on every play, if we were watching this in the film room, when you clicked off the film or stopped it, you would see 11 shirts of that same color right there in the frame trying to tackle him. That's what you're looking for.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll again head down to visit with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, back for another year. He'll have scores from around the NFL here on this opening weekend. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. And now with that completion, he's north of 200 yards here in the first half.
And he's going to break our statistician, Marvin, isn't he? Because Marvin right now is just tallying it up. Hope his hand doesn't hurt too much doing this or keeps hitting the calculator. But my goodness, what a start he is off to. By the end of this game, he could have monster numbers. He just wants to continue to be accurate.
From the 50, it's Watson. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Certainly appeared to take away his first read, and by the time he tried to look elsewhere and find an open target, the coverage was too good. That one falls incomplete.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Here's Watson. He finds his man, complete. It's Parks. That helps the completion percentage, but not much else, and now it's 3rd and 10. Now a second timeout called for by the defense, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Now on 3rd down, an extra DB out there for the Chiefs. Again, it's Watson. Flushed out right. He finds his man, complete. That's Parks. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Here's Watson. Forced out to his left. That would almost intercepted, but it's incomplete. Not a good throw there, and it'll be 2nd down. So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. To throw is Watson. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down. Here comes the 8th play of the drive, and they need a full 10 yards on 3rd down. Back to throw, Watson. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge, and that's good enough for a 1st down.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago, because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
Watson looks to throw again. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
Well, I think that was good strategy there, trying to go right back to him after the last completion. But this time, the defense was all over him, and they got there to break that one up.
Throwing again is Watson. Escaping the pressure right. And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. A great play there. There to make the grab. And the Texans are an extra point away from tying the ball game here in the final minute of the 1st half. Extra point safely through. And we are tied here in the 2nd quarter. A couple of teams locked into a good one here. 21 all the score as the kick's away. And they'll let that one go as it skips through the back of the end zone for a touchback. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. And they've got a little under 40 seconds to go if they want to try to put something together here. Mahomes now on 1st down. Eluding the pressure right. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete. You know, if following up on this head coach and the pressure that he is under, CD, I want to switch it to you because you've been on winning teams, but I know you've been in similar situations too where things just are not going well. How do you approach that as a player?
It's a tough approach, Brandon, because you actually have to do the opposite of what you would think. You know, in your mind, you're thinking, I redouble my efforts, I go harder. In a sense, you have to back off a little bit. You have to do a little bit less. Do what you're supposed to do, but don't take on the pressures of doing more and trying to do your teammates' jobs as well. If you do that, that's really going to lead you to more issues.
It's a big play there for the Chiefs, and that'll make it 2nd and 10. And now a timeout defensively after that first down play. So they're going to make this offense sweat out half number one. Here's 2nd and 10. Final shot before the half for Mahomes. He's going to take a shot at the end zone. Why not? And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Denzel Ward. And the Texans are going to get the football back as time will run out in this third quarter of play. Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. It's a tie football game here. What do you think, Charles, the message was at halftime?
Well, I think that they probably just looked at things and said, we're fortunate that this is a tie game. No need to panic. No need to change a whole lot. We didn't play anything close to our...
And that's caught inside the 35. And he takes it all the way down to the 32. Mahomes finding Hill for a big play. 43 yards. On 1st and 10, here's Mahomes. And going deep for Hill. And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
I like the thought process there. They connected on a big play, and sometimes you find the defense vulnerable. So they went for the bigger shot, went for it all on that one. This time, they were ready for it.
To throw on 2nd and 10, Mahomes. And his throw here's incomplete. So back-to-back incompletions. 3rd down here and 10, but you're still in field goal range.
And that's the thing to keep in mind. They're in field goal range. So now you don't take any unnecessary risks, but you try and find a way to get back to what you were doing earlier in the drive in order to finish this one off.
Throwing is Mahomes on 3rd. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge, and that's good enough for a first down. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. This defense not fooled one bit on that touch pass.
And this has become one of those kind of in vogue plays, you know, kind of like the shuffle pass was a few years ago. This one never got off the ground, but you understand why.
And he's going to lose a yard or two, taken down behind the line. It's a loss of a yard, so they'll wind up crediting him with a sack, and it brings up 3rd down. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he'll get this into the hands of Hill, complete. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6.
With the kind of game he's had so far, you had to know that on 3rd down, that they would be looking his way, and they did.
Touchdown! It's complete. Nico Collins from 6 yards away. And the Chiefs have taken the lead as they go right down the field and score on the opening drive of the second half. Extra point by Butker is on target, and they will take a 7-point lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. This taken in at the goal line. And not a good return here at all as they'll be forced to start at the 12-yard line.
For most people, the excitement of a kickoff return is to see a long one that goes back in the opposite direction. But for the guys covering it, it's being able to stop them deep in their own territory. How about that incredible form tackle right there? Shoulder into ball carrier, and down he goes.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And this game was all square at halftime, but now they find themselves down 7 following the opening drive touchdown here in the third quarter.
And they need to take a good, relaxing, deep breath, don't you think? Because right now they might start to feel like they've got to play catch-up here and start matching them point for point, but it's still too early to get there.
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off around the 27, and they're going to be set up in the red zone right around the 17-yard line. And they'll take possession already in the red zone and in a great spot to add points to the scoreboard.
And, Brandon, how many times have we seen a defense with a lot of field behind them get even more aggressive, right? They feel like they've got them not pinned down, but in a favorable spot for them, and they took advantage of it there, got a nice interception, and set up their offense in great shape.
And he gets it down close to the 10-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. Mahomes going to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Burgess. And the Chiefs are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as the tackle made at the 3-yard line. Throwing now is Mahomes. Flush to his right. And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield. The sack sets him back a full 10 yards there on 1st and goal. So after the sack, they'll come up on a still manageable 2nd and 13. Looking to throw is Mahomes. Dancing to his left. Over the middle, complete. It's Burgess. 5 yards that time on the completion, and now it's 3rd and goal. He's been quiet today in the passing game, just his 2nd catch.
Yeah, and people have to come up with schemes to limit him, and what a lot of teams do, they'll double him, use a linebacker underneath, a safety over the top. Sometimes they'll just take a corner, maybe their 3rd corner if he's a bigger guy, and put him on a man-to-man to try and limit his touches. Just keep mixing it up, give him different angles, different looks, like a good boxer does.
Here's Mahomes, 3rd and goal. And they're going to get him. They bring him down to the sack back at the 16-yard line. Call it a loss of 8 there, and it's going to lead to a 4th down, 4th and goal. That's going to set him back 5 yards. So on 4th down, Mahomes off, Harrison Butker on for the Chiefs field goal. From the right hash, it's a 38-yard attempt. Butker's kick here is good. So after 4 touchdowns in the game for this offense, this time they're forced into taking the 3.
But you did mention 4 touchdowns, right? So 4 out of 5, not too bad. I think that's a pretty good record for them.
Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. He's got his man. It's Andrews. And they're able to get this one across the 35. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Hands it off out of the gun. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
On 2nd and inches, Watson on the move to his left. And that is incomplete.
After what they faced during this game where they've given up a ton of yards downfield, that has to be a measure of revenge right there for the secondary. They've been shredded throughout the game and finally forced an incompletion.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Watson. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. It'll be a loss of 6 yards on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down.
Well, that wasn't exactly a thing of beauty. I know they completed the pass, but look at the yardage lost. I mean, who does that make happy?
That's why I don't play in PPR points per reception fantasy leagues right there.
You'd be really
You don't deserve
upset,
anything
right?
for that.
But you get credit for it? Is that how that works?
Yeah.
Well, I know whoever has this team's defense, they were happy about that play.
We are through 3 quarters here on NFL Kickoff Weekend. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Desperation time. Watson on 4th down. And they hit him as he throws, as this one's going to go straight down to the turf. Incomplete. The Texans tried it, but they come up empty here on 4th. And the Chiefs will have the football back in excellent field position. On 1st down, Mahomes. He's going to take a shot right away for the end zone. This is caught by Hill for a Chiefs touchdown. Tyreek Hill, already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Chiefs are looking good here in the season opener as they're able to extend their lead. And that is off the left upright. It's no good. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And last time out, went for it on 4th down, turned it over, gave him great field position, turned into 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on 4th down.
Caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain.
And now Watson throws another interception. Picked off by Juan Thornhill. And the Chiefs are going to get it back here just past the 35. Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their 36-yard line. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And this one is incomplete. Despite the lead here in the fourth, they're still taking shots.
Not content to sit on this lead at all. And to me, it raises the question of what's right in this game nowadays. Do you sit on the ball and run it because you have enough of a lead? Or do you try and extend it because you always feel like the...
This is caught inside the 15. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Curtis Samuel with now 3 Week 1 touchdowns. And the Chiefs are closing in on a winning start to the year as they extend their fourth quarter lead. Extra point by Butker is on target, and that pushes the lead up to 23. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And they knew coming in that this would be a tough place to go in and win a season opener. But this has just been a performance, to be frank, not to be proud of here as they trail big in this fourth quarter. Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense, they're just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Watson, he's going to loft one deep over the middle. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Juan Thornhill. And the Chiefs are going to get the football here at their own 40-yard line. Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at the 40. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Gets this one to Hill. And some room to maneuver. And in for the Chiefs touchdown. Tyreek Hill with now 3 Week 1 touchdowns. And the Chiefs are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point by Butker is on target. And the lead will swell by one more. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. A big play there on the catch and run. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. Now it's Watson. Throwing the out route and complete. That's Roth. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. Watson now to throw. Flushed out right. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. We've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. And I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
To the air yet again, Watson. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
Here we go on fourth. Watson rolling to it, and that is caught. Touchdown, Texans. Mark Andrews there to make the grab. And the Texans get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this fourth quarter deficit. Looking to maybe throw for it here, Watson. That's caught at the 1. And he is not going to get in here. So the decision to go for 2 does not pay off as they're unable to cut any further into their deficit. And the Chiefs are going to make the recovery. So they touched it before it went 10, and that's obviously not going to help their comeback bid here in the fourth.
No, not at all, and they're trying to get something going after one there, but you've got to give yourself a chance. Let it go 10 before you touch it.
From the pistol, they run it with Cook. And he'll be taken down at the 33, a pickup of about 4. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Down to the 30 after a gain of 3. At this stage of the game, with the score where it is, the key here is stay in bounds, and he did just that. Not by a huge margin, but he stayed in.
And those come up in what we like to call winning edge meetings. The things that you have to do, late game situations, kicking situations, doesn't matter what it is, the things you have to do to win a game, and that comes up in that meeting, then you practice it, they've got to be happy to see it executed, being able to stay in bounds and work the clock.
And he's able to get the first here as he's taken down at the 25. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. This defense, Charles, they have unraveled here in the fourth.
In a sense, it's like they're being pressed like in a basketball game, and they just can't get the ball over half court. I mean, no matter what they do, they can't get off the field. They can't slow them down. They're just going up and down the field against them. Yeah, unraveling would be a perfect word for them.
And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Byron Murphy there on the tackle.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Butker now to add the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you
and that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. On 1st and 10, Watson. He finds his man complete. That's Parks. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. So 8 yards on the completion there, and it'll be a 2nd down. He's going to go up top for the end zone. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Off of play action, it's Watson. Buying time to his left. And he is out of bounds, getting it down to the 10.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception, really a bad throw, so maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
And he'll go down, brought down at the 20-yard line. So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. Back to throw. Watson. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the gun, Watson. That is caught inside the 5. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. They do get 18, but even that won't be quite enough. And he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late, but he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed, I did, my good man. This opening game has certainly not gone their way to this point, but, yeah, that touchdown, maybe a glimmer of hope for the long season ahead.
And no one in this league likes to talk about moral victories. No one likes to really just say, okay, well, maybe something went right. But you're exactly right about that. A little glimmer there. Maybe they can carry it over moving forward.
That's caught. And he will find the end zone again. So he gets the touchdown and the 2-point conversion, and that'll cut this deficit down a little bit further. So it would no doubt be a miracle comeback from here, but let's see what they can do starting with the onside kick. And the Chiefs are going to make the recovery. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
How about this? They'll try the option, left side. And now on the pitch, the ball's loose.
Much like a running back going through the line, quarterbacks have to be aware of protecting the football as well. He left it exposed that time, wound up having it knocked free, but fortunately, had an alert teammate who was able to get it.
So they keep the football, but now face 2nd and long. Now a give, right side. Mooney. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they stop it with 22 ticks to go in the 4th. And the Texans have an extra defender in the secondary now on 3rd down. Mahomes now to throw. He is going to find Hill here. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. The Texans going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they get it with 16 seconds remaining on the clock. On 1st down, Mooney. He's to the 10. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it.
Coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Kansas City, that'll be a happy locker room as they start this season 1-0. And they'll have another home date next week as the Texans come to town. Meanwhile, for Houston, they go down to defeat here in the opener. And they will get a home date next week as they will take on the Dallas Cowboys. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.